I am someone that was a big binge drinker for a very, very long time, especially in my teens and my 20s and my early 30s. And I was someone that used alcohol to cope, to self-soothe, to escape my feelings. Welcome to Cravings Control for Fat Loss. I'm your host, Laura Cavallo, former sugar binger, overeater, and yo-yo dieter turned fat loss and cravings coach for hundreds of busy women. Here at Cravings Control for Fat Loss, I'll be sharing mindset, movement, and metabolism strategies for those who are ready to ditch the fat diet cycle and slim down without counting calories, tracking points, or giving up any of the foods they love. Get ready to embrace progress over perfection, grace over guilt, and bring curiosity and learning to the inevitable ups and downs of your life. Expect a decrease in your cravings while seeing and feeling an improvement in how you look, how you feel, and your overall quality of life. I am so excited you're here, boo. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Cravings Control for Fat Loss. My name is Laura Cavallo, your cravings coach, and today I have another Craveless 2-minute tip for you. Craveless 2-minute tip is a simple series that I've put together that I'm sharing just really quick, simple, actionable tips that you can apply in 2 minutes or less. Now, I can't guarantee that I'm going to keep these podcasts to 2 minutes or less because as you've seen in all the previous Craveless episodes, they have definitely not been 2 minutes. So these are for you to apply in 2 minutes or less. And today I want to talk about alcohol and how to drink less for better fat loss and less cravings. Now, I am not one to tell you what to do. However, I think we can all agree that we know that alcohol is not good for us. It is a poison and it negatively impacts everything about our health, everything about our cravings, and does not help us in our fat loss goals. So I think it's important to note here that alcohol can cause some serious health risks and health issues. And my one thing that I will state for you is, or the one thing that I want you to think about and ask yourself rather is, ask yourself why you're drinking, okay? If you're using alcohol to cope, to deal, to self-soothe, to escape, to deal with things that you're trying to run away from, that probably is not going to be the best way for you to be using alcohol because then it can get abusive. It can further damage your mood, your brain, your energy, how you feel about yourself, can increase anxiety and depression. And so just ask yourself, why am I drinking? Why am I drinking? That is not the Craveless 2-minute tip, but I wanted to just have that as an aside. And even if you're not using alcohol for that, and maybe you're just using alcohol in social settings, but you do find yourself drinking excessively a lot, then maybe it is something to take a look at and see how alcohol is playing into your day-to-day. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now. And just as an aside, I do drink alcohol. And I am someone that was a big binge drinker for a very, very long time, especially in my teens and my 20s and my early 30s. And I was someone that used alcohol to cope, to self-soothe, to escape my feelings and to deal with things that I didn't want to deal with. And so I'm definitely speaking from experience here. And I'm happy that I have a healthier relationship with alcohol now. I try to keep my drinks to max 2 per week. I will say this summer, I definitely indulged more where there were weeks where I was drinking like 6, 7, 8 drinks per week. And that did coincide with a period of time that I was not feeling good about myself. I was feeling really stressed. I wasn't really managing my emotions well. And in hindsight, I can look back and say that I'm grateful for all the work that I've put in over the past 5-6 years in my cravings and health journey because I was able to notice it quicker and course correct. However, the seasons of life will be the seasons of life and the seasons of the year. So just know that sometimes we go through shit and we need to be aware of what's going on and how we're handling it. So let's get back to alcohol when it comes to fat loss and when it comes to cravings. So the reason why alcohol from a fat loss and cravings perspective is not going to help you with your goals is, for one, alcohol is just empty calories. Okay. It does not provide protein, fat, healthy fat, or carbohydrates. Well, it can, but they are not nutrient dense. Okay. So if you do track calories, then your alcohol is going to either be input as a carb or a fat. Even the zero carb, drinks, or the low carb things, those are still going to count as carbs and fats. They're not going to be zero carbs. Okay. The calories have to come from somewhere. It can't be 0 calories or like zero numbers for protein, fats, and carbs, and then be 100 calories. Like that doesn't make sense, right? It has to come from somewhere. And so when you track, those calories are either coming from fat or they're coming from carbs. The second issue with alcohol is that alcohol can stunt fat loss. So when you have alcohol in your blood system, your body's not going to prioritize burning fat or burning carbohydrates for energy. It's going to utilize alcohol. So say that you have one drink every single night, and every morning you wake up and go to the gym and hop on the treadmill or do strength training. You are not tapping into your fat stores. You are tapping into your alcohol for energy. The third thing that is going to impede your fat loss and your cravings is the fact that alcohol dehydrates you. And when that happens, it can increase cravings and your desire to want to snack, right? So you might be shaking your head like, yeah, every time I start drinking, right, more than 2 or 3 drinks, I get really cravey. I want to like grab some pretzels, or I want a greasy quesadilla, I want a burger. And not just when you're drinking, but then even after, right? After the next day when you're hungover, you're like, oh, I want like fries, or I want like breakfast burrito, or I want some bacon, or I want pancakes. I always want pancakes the next day. And so that is your body's physiological response to drinking and being dehydrated. So by nature, alcohol can increase hunger, can increase cravings, because when you drink, say you drink 500 calories of beer, your body does not compensate and say like, oh, this is really nutritious, then we're just going to undereat 500 calories of food. It is not compensatory, meaning that the calories you bring in from alcohol do not impact your hunger in a way that you end up eating less. If anything, you eat more. So those are some of the issues that alcohol can pose around fat loss and cravings. So one strategy that I use with my clients is having a glass of water in between cocktails. Now, I know this sounds really simple and like, oh, like, well, I already do that sometimes, but you have to really put effort towards this. So starting the night with a glass of water, sipping your cocktail slowly so that you're having one cocktail every 45 minutes to an hour, having a glass of water in between, and then just in general, just being more present in the event that you're at versus feeling like you have to just drink to get drunk. Okay. These are some things that have helped my clients in just like in past programs and past one-on-one is they've shared with me like just being more present within the party, the event, being more interested in talking to people, getting to know people versus just getting plastered. So I actually gave you 3 tips, not just one. So first is have a glass of water in between your cocktails. The second one is to sip slow and enjoy one cocktail every 45 minutes to an hour. And then the third is to be more engaged with the party and the people there versus focusing on just getting drunk or drinking. Now, that is all I have for you today. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you learned something new. Let me know if you are trying to drink less alcohol. And thanks for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Hey there, boo. I have a special gift for you. I created a free guide with 10 proven ways to reduce afternoon cravings and nighttime overeating. And I created this in response to knowing that this is a really big struggle for a lot of women out there, and maybe it is for you too. It's like once the afternoon hits, you can't stop snacking, you're grazing, you're looking for sugar, you're looking for something to soothe, to comfort you, to deal with stress. Maybe you're on the go and you just like don't have time to make anything or cook anything, and then one treat leads into the next. So in this guide, you're going to learn how to get control of your eating with simple and actionable tips that you can start to do right away, okay? And the guide is completely free. I created it just for you. So you're going to scroll to the resources section below and click the link to download it. After you do and you thumb through it, shoot me a message on Instagram. Let me know which tip you're going to start implementing this week and what you think of the guide. I hope you enjoy it.